Hello students and welcome to my channel. In this session we will be learning Standard 10 Political Science Chapter 4, the continuing part, that is the part 3 of Chapter 4, Social and Political Movements. In the second part of the session we have learned about some important movements in India like the tribal movements, the farmers movement in India, and also we have learned about the trade unions. In the last part of the session, we will be learning about the women's movement, the consumer movement and the environmental movement. So let's start first with the women's movement. Women's movement, this is a broad movement campaigning for the women's liberation and rights. So let's start. In the pre-independence period, progressive men in India initiated the women's movement. The women's movement aimed at eliminating injustice against the women and ending their exploitation, help them to lead a respectful life and participate actively in social life. So before independence, progressive men, that is the social reformer, they took a lead, they took an initiative to work on the issues of the women like inequality given to the women, child marriage, dowry system and many more such a type of evil practice or injustice was done against the women. So the women's movement, they had an aim. They had aim to remove all the injustice, the inequality which were done against the women in a society, to end the unfair treatment given to them and also to help the women to come out of the worst situation and help the women to have a respectful life in a society. Many of the social reformers like Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, Rajaram Mohan Roy, Mahatma Jyotirao Phule, Savitribai Phule, Pandita Ramabai, Ramabai Ranade, Maharshi Dhondo Keshav Karve, these people, they took initiative, that is they took a lead to end the evil practices like the sati and child marriages. Sati system, this was an ancient Hindu tradition wherein the widow would be she used to throw herself on the husband's fire and burn to death. It was initially a voluntarily act which was considered to be a courageous and a heroic deed what the widow used to do after her husband's death. But later on it became a forced practice and also the child marriages. So to end all these practices, these people took an initiative. Reforms such as widow remarriage, women education and right to vote to women were possible due to the work of these reformists. After independence, the constitution gave equal rights to women in all fields. In spite of this, women were not treated equally in several fields. During this period, women's movement aimed at freedom of women. The movement demanded that women should be treated as human beings. So, reform. First understand what is the meaning of reform. Reform means changes which are made about in a society for the development, for the betterment and for the improvement in a society. That is called to be as the reform. Reformers are those people who work or who take an initiative and who work to bring about a change in a society for its betterment and development. Those are the reformer. And reformists are those who support or who advocate the changes in a society for its betterment and development. These are the reformists. So it was due to the hard work of the reformer and the strong support of the reformists that many changes took place for the betterment in a society, like the widows they got a permission to remarry, women got a right to education and a right to vote after the independence. The constitution gave the right to the women. Now women got equal status as a man in many fields, like it was a working place or in a society or at home. Now though the movement were made to give equal status to the women, but 100% it did not work out. Women were still not treated equally. Now the moment they demanded that at least the women should be given the least treatment, as though as they are human being. Don't torture the women because even they are the human beings. At least that expectations were kept from the society. In the later period, women participated to a great extent in the movement against corruption, caste discrimination, and religious extremism, which made them aware of injustice against their own selves. Women started taking initiative in organizing against injustice. In India, women's movement is not homogeneous in nature. However, women's movement at various levels are taking up the issues like women's health, social security, financial dependence, and empowerment. Today's women's movement face the challenge of equal education for women and giving women a status and prestige as human beings. So, let the after that, like what we have discussed about, many of the changes were brought in a society, even though at many places women were not treated equally, not even like a human beings. After that, many of the women, like they started taking part or they participated in various movements like the corruption. They started fighting against the corruption, caste discrimination, and about the religious extremism. Now, when they participated in such a type of a movement, the women become aware about the injustice which were done against themselves. Now, if we talk about the like for that purpose, the women started taking initiative. They organized themselves to fight against the injustice. But if we talk about the nature of India's movement, it is not homogeneous in nature in India. Why it is not homogeneous? Let us understand. Because there are various issues in India which are related to the women, like many issues like acid throw, child marriage, domestic violence, dowry system, and inequality to the women given in a society, and many more such issues are there. So we can say that India's women movement is not homogeneous in nature. They do not have a particular one issue, but there are many issues and many evil practices are there which is done against the women, and so we can say that India's women movement is not homogeneous in nature. As the time has changed now, the women's movement now are taking up issues like women's health, their security in the society, and financially the woman should be dependent on her own self, and also to empower the women. Empower means that is the woman should be given freedom to become strong, more strong, confident, and she should be able to control her life. So these are all the demands now recently which are taking up. And also today's women movement face the challenge of equal education for women and giving women a status and a prestige as human being. So now previously it was only a least treatment as a human being should be given to the women. But now her time has changed. Now the women's movement is demanding that the woman, she also deserve to have a status in a society and the prestige as a human being, not the least treatment as a human being, but now even she is demanding for her status and her prestige in a society. Now let's start with the environment movement. Environment movement, this is also referred to as the ecology movement. It includes conservation of environment. Now some of the powerful movement like Chipko movement of 1973 and Jangal Bachao Andolan of 1980. These are also the environment movement. So now let us study more about the environment movement. We are aware that environment degradation is a serious problem at national and international level. At the national level, several movements are working to stop the deterioration of the environment. We see a significant international cooperation in this field. In India, many movements are working on different aspects of environment. The environment movements are taking up issues like protection of biodiversity, protecting different sources of water, protection of forest, green belt, pollution of river, use of chemicals and their ill effects, etc. Environmental degradation, this is due to the depletion of the resources such as the air, water and soil. So this issue is not just a matter of concern for India, but many of the nations of the world, they are facing the issue of the environmental degradation, and definitely it is a matter of concern to many nations, due to which there are several international movements who are working to stop the degradation of the environment. If we talk about India, in India there were and there are many environmental movement who are still working. To name few of them, Apiko movement of 1983, Narmada Bachao Andolan of 1985, and also I told you about the Chipko movement and Jangal Bachao movement. These were few in the past, and even at the present time, there are various movements who has a mission to stop the degradation of the environment. Now these movements in India, you can say, or also at the international level, as I told you, it is a matter of concern for many nations of the world. So there is an international cooperation in the field of environment movement. But particularly if we talk about India, in India there are many movements which are working on different aspects of the environment, like the protection of biodiversity, protection of different sources of water, like the stopping the pollution of the rivers, the lakes, then protection of the forest, green belt. Green belt, it is an area of open land around the city on which the buildings are totally restricted. Those are said to be the green belt. Pollution of rivers, use of chemicals and the ill effects. So government is also making various laws and implementations are done so as to stop the pollution of rivers. Now student, as that you know what is the environment movement, let us learn about the great environmentalist and conservationist Rajendra Singh, also called as the Waterman of India. He belonged to a place from Alwar district, Rajasthan in India. He is also called as the Waterman of India. So let's learn about this great person. He became famous because of building of thousands of johad in Rajasthan. So let us understand what is the meaning of johad. Johad, this is also known as pokhar or a percolation pond. It is a community owned traditional harvested rainwater storage wetland, and it is used for effectively harnessing water resources. Rainwater storage tank these are. So he revived rivers in the desert of Rajasthan. He formed an organization called as the Tarun Bharat Sangha, also called as the TBS, which worked for building 11,000 johad in hundreds of villages. All over India, he started a campaign for water conservation, revival of rivers, forest conservation and wildlife conservation. His social movement is active for last 31 years. He won the Stockholm Water Prize, an award known as the Nobel Prize for Water. Now let us learn about the next movement, and that is the consumer movement. Consumer movement is an effort to promote consumer protection through an organized social movement. In the consumer movement, we will also learn about the Consumer Protection Act, goods and services. So let's learn more about the consumer movement. Consumer movement emerged in India after the Consumer Protection Act came into existence in 1986. This movement has a broad objective. So the Consumer Protection Act was passed in the year 1986, but it came into force on 1st July 1987. And the main objective of the act, it is to provide better and all-round protection to the consumer, and also effective safeguard against different type of exploitation such as the defective goods, deficient services and unfair trade practices. So this movement believes that each member of a society is a consumer. Yes, we all live in a society where we require many things for our day-to-day life. It can be goods or services. For every other needs, we are dependent upon others to buy the things. So all the members in a society are a consumer. Due to the changing nature of social and economic system, consumer face different problems. Now let us see what are the problems the consumer faces. Adulteration. Adulteration, this is an act of making something impure by its original form by adding a material that are specially inferior ones, that is called as adulteration. For example, the fresh fruits are adulterated or mixed with the cheap food colors. Even the butter is diluted with water, or partially it has been replaced by some cheaper type of a plant oil such as the sunflower or the palm oil. So these are few of the examples about the adulteration. Increased cost of items. frauds in weights and measures are some of the problems. So as each person in a society is a consumer, we all as a consumer, we are been we there are various type of wrong things which are done against the consumer. So according to the consumer movement, the Consumer Protection Act of 1986, definitely it helps the consumer against all the fraud which is done against them. So consumer movement work to protect the consumer from all such a type of frauds. So whether it is an adulteration or increased cost of items or frauds in the weights and measures, whatever act is done, fraud act is done against the consumer, the Protection Act helps us, it protects us. The movement increased the participation of people in public life. The After the year 1980, some movements were started and they were called to be as a neo-social movement, or also we can call them as a new social movements. As their nature is different from the earlier movement, we have learned different type of movements till now. That is a tribal movement, farmers movement. This movement we have learned. But after the year 1980, new social movement was started, and these social movements were they focus not on the issues of materialistic qualities like the economic well-being, but these issues were related only to the human rights. So those movements which were started after the year 1980, these movements are called to be as the new social movement. So this is the end of the chapter social and political movements. I hope student you all have understood the chapter well. Thank you.